up on me right now.
I got you.
Let's go then.
What time is it?
Game time.
Okay, Moolah just hit. What's going on, fellas? It is back. It is Football Friday. We're a little slow today. Little technical difficulties with everybody going on today, but we here. We popping off. GQ, how's your week before we get going?
Man, still going. Hadn't stopped yet. Like I tell you, I just ran in the door. I mean, I literally just ran into the door. So, like, I'm still rocking. 4th of July weekend. I've got a lot of planning to do. So, but it's Football Friday, so we here, we live, and it's gonna be on and popping.
Yeah, before Moolich, I know you in mid-flight mode right now.
Sunny San Diego right now in big airport mode, travel mode. But yeah, I'm here, man. We can still going for me, still on the travel.
All right. So, yep. My week is going. I'm busy. Getting ready to plan this daggone cruise. So I've been running all over the place. My phone decided it wanted to blow up on Tuesday. So we're here now. But let's get to the shenanigans of the NFL. So apparently fines and suspensions is the thing for the NFL all season this year. Right now we are up to 9 players suspended for gambling. What are your thoughts on this?
NFL players are dumb.
Thank you. Because this is embarrassing. I just feel like you guys should know better at this point. You should know better. And the fact that there's so many, the fact that nobody took Calvin Ridley's case seriously and thought, maybe I shouldn't do this, is just outstanding in itself. But now that there's 9, almost double digits, you guys are insane. Or insane.
Well, here's the thing. These are all investigations that have come about from. This is the repercussions of Calvin Ridley situation. Because if you look at specifically this Isaiah Rodgers one, which is arguably worse than Calvin Ridley's, because he caught himself up because he was doing $25 to $50 bets, and then all of a sudden drops his $1,000 bet on an over/under on some rushing yards. That's not a good place to be.
Don't tell him. You're dumb.
Why would you do that? You're dumb.
Yeah, like, dude, like, what are you doing? Like, and now you don't have a job.
Literally, like, what was your thought process?
Like, and it's not like Isaiah Rodgers was a bad defensive player. Like, he was fine. He was good for what he was doing, and now you're unemployed. Like now you're unemployed. Yeah. Like, I'll see you in the XFL next year.
I think he'll come back. He'll get a job in the NFL. He's young, so this will be once over. He's not eligible till after the 2024 season, which is basically 2 years. Because he's suspended for this entire season, but he's not eligible to come back until after the 2024 season. That was the story that came out today. So he's okay. I didn't see that.
Yeah,
I didn't see that part.
It says he's not eligible to return until after until the conclusion of the 2024 season, to be exact what the quote says, which means basically.
Is it the 24? Is it the conclusion of the 20? Okay, are they talking? Because going into this season, it'll be 2023, but the season ends in 2024.
How y'all doing, guys?
Yeah. So I don't know. I'll do some more reading, but if I'm reading it correctly, the 2024 season ain't started yet. So
if that's the case, then what he did was crazy.
So we got Colts players, Detroit Lions players.
What he did was crazy regardless, because come on, bro. Like, come on, dog. It's just not smart.
Yeah. No, it's not. And this is what I pulled up what the NFL policy was. Like, these are the things that you can't do based on the policy. You can't bet on football. That should be obvious. You can't bet on other sports, game fixing, this thing called best effort, which means you have to play to your fullest capabilities without wavering because of the bet. Providing inside info, workplace betting. We talked about that before in another show. You cannot be connected to any sports books. No gambling during season. You can endorse gambling enterprises, which means, I guess, if let's say you play for the Raiders, you couldn't get any endorsements from like Caesars or whatever sports book.
Well, yeah, that's why most of the the cats that are like sponsored by Caesar Sportbooks are retired, like Kevin Garnett, like guys like that. There's no current players that are sponsored by any of these major gambling organizations. So keep your fucking nose clean. That's what it sounds like to me.
And then there's two more, but the last one is the one that this is the one we kind of talked about it before. The second to last one was no gifts over $250 from a gaming facility. And then the last one is, this is the one where everybody keeps saying where the NFL is kind of, you can't even do that. You can't have no association with a gambler, with a sports gambler, meaning no one can even place a bet for you.
That last one's interesting because I'm like, unless you're actively vetting everybody someone associates with, that's a. I'm not saying that the NFL is probably not doing. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if they're doing. You're $1 billion company. I mean, you could easily be doing that, but in other words, just don't do it.
And that's pretty much. And they put in season on purpose. I guess they don't care what you do off season, but in season you cannot bet on sports.
So this only applies to in season.
Yep.
Yes.
Bro, then I'm gonna wait to the end of after the Super Bowl, and I'm betting on NBA. Like, what the fuck? Like,
it's literally NBA, hockey, baseball,
yeah, like
all that. Why do it during the season?
The XFL, the USFL, I can bet on other football that's not my football. Like, the Super Bowl's over in February. You can't wait from August to February. Like, come on, bro. Or are they like, or do they consider the end of the season like post draft? Like, what's considered the end of the season?
No, I think once I think after the Super Bowl.
Because right after the draft, you got rookie and mandatory mini camps around the corner. So it's like, when does the new league year start? Like, what's the actual window? Like, it sounds like you might have, let's say, 3 months.
You might have 6 weeks.
6 weeks.
6 to 8 weeks.
So almost 3 months, roughly.
Yeah.
Almost.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, hey, if you really want to gamble, cool story, bro. But like, I don't like losing money.
But it's sports betting. They said you can go to a roulette table, you can go to those other, you just can't bet on sports.
Does that include horse racing? Can't really gain anything from sports betting on horses because they're not professional. They're not like horses is a little different because I know cats just around this area where I live at that'll drop 6 figures on horse racing.
Oh yeah, easy.
So like
easy.
It's not people, it's animals. I don't know. That's weird. Like,
I guess we have to dig a little deeper to see what it means by sports. But it says in season. But my thing is, if it's in season, you should be too busy to be betting on anything anyway.
You should.
And I think that's where the last point comes in, where it's basically like you can't have an outside entity or entity close to you bet for you, because that's what a lot of people have been trying to do, trying to have people, their brothers, their cousins, their nieces, nephews, uncles bet for them, and it's like, don't stop, because you're gonna get caught. The money trail is gonna lead back to you at some point in time.
Right. And I'm like, man, you should have enough money that betting should not be a priority for you. Like, I get it, but no, leave it alone.
That's just it's just pointless to me. Like, you have all that money, you sign all these contracts, endorsement deals, all kind of other contract deals. Why?
To do what?
Why even?
Why risk it? Why risk it? I'm not risking my $1 million contract because I'm going to bet on some goofy. I'm not doing it.
It's good, Wizard, bro. It's really like, unless you're into it, and you do it professionally, because I know there are some professional bettors. I get it, but if you're involved in the sport and you're trying to bet on the sport that you're involved in, you're dumb.
It's a bad luck.
No, I think
it's a bad luck.
You're absolutely dumb, and you deserve everything that's coming to you. Not to mention, I see why the NFL is going so hard about this right now, because a lot of college players are getting caught up with the whole sports betting thing as well too. So they're basically like, "Hey, yo, y'all not gonna come up in my league doing all that weird stuff, bro. Keep all that betting stuff over there. This is your warning and your one and only warning right now."
I agree. And then the next thing we got, PEDs. This one ain't as bad as the gambling. So we got 3 players currently suspended for PEDs, which is absolutely nuts to me at this point in time. And then the same thing with the PED use. Here's the rules for that. Your first violation, 4 to 6 games. The use of a masking agent, you get 2 games. So they can, if they don't find any PED use, but you trigger a masking agent, what they, whatever they consider a concealant to like try to cover it up, you get 2 games off the rip. You get
so
2 games off the rip.
The masking agent is very similar to what they test for in the UFC and boxing. Sorry.
Yep. Steroids, HGH, and any stimulants, 4 to 6 games. Your second infraction, 10 games off the rip. Third, you out for a whole season.
The stimulants one is interesting because there are a lot of pre-workouts that are stimulant based.
Right.
Because like hell, the one I use is a heavy stimulant because I it's just the way that I like the stimulant feeling.
That's a good point about it. It really does.
Right. And then the thing about it is, it's not that you can't use, you just can't use what's not on the NFL ban list.
So it's no different than the NCAA thing. Like, as long as you get on the database, double check your stuff, or get with your team doctors, make sure that, hey, is this cool? Is this on the list? Which most
that's the biggest one. A lot of people don't check with their team doctors prior to using some other thing that they may not be curious or they might be curious with. Yeah, that's what gets a lot of people.
And I remember like one of my homeboys in college, he was like, hey man, I'm finna start taking this new protein or whatever. And I was like, have you looked on your ban list? He was like, what you talking about? I said, there's a whole list of like things you can and can't take for the NCAA. So like I showed him how to access, and then sure enough, that particular protein, because of whatever ingredients were in there, was a banned thing.
Yep.
And I'm like, hey man, you gotta, like, and it's not a small database. Like it's not a small database. You're talking thousands of different products, whether it like that you just cannot like it's a very detailed thing. Like it's by name, by label, pictures, everything. And it'll tell you why. It legitimately tells you why you can't take it because of this, that, and that ingredient. And this is, I imagine for the NFL is the same, but I don't think the general public, I don't think we have access to that database. But the NCAA one is public knowledge.
Those are facts. Yep. A lot of our athletes are not only irresponsible, but willfully dumb. They do willfully dumb shit.
They're lazy. They're lazy.
That's the biggest factor. They're lazy as shit.
And that's why they end up on Dumbass Millionaires on Gentleman's Talk on Wednesdays.
Yep.
Absolutely.
So free agency it kind of slowed down a little bit right now. But given a lot of these cases, it's going to pick up really, really, really fast. There's going to be a lot of guys who didn't think they had jobs is going to have jobs because other people are stupid.
Yeah, we're in what's called the NFL's dark age right now, which is that time period when mini camps are over, getting ready for training camp is around the corner now. So it's like this is the last little hoorah of take whatever little time you got off. And while we're on that subject, there shout out to Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce for winning the match last night, beating the Splash Brothers. Very entertaining. A lot of trash talk. Chuck and Draymond was going.
Klay Thompson cannot golf to save his life.
He is terrible,
which is crazy.
He is. Yeah, Klay Thompson is not a good golfer, but
no. I didn't. I thought. I knew Steph was gonna. Steph can golf. Like he can.
Steph is really good.
Golf.
He
can golf.
Mahomes is a good golfer too.
Really good.
Like last year's match, I actually do think last year's match was better than this year's match only because it featured the 4 quarterbacks, but because you had the 2 OGs and the 2 young bucks, and that was Josh Allen and Patrick Mahomes versus Aaron Rodgers and Tom Brady, and that was a phenomenal match last year. Like even if you're not a golf fan, just watching these 4 men out of their normal football element and the golf element and all the trash talk, because that's the most you ever see Aaron Rodgers talk was during the match. I ain't never seen that man talk that much ever. Now Tom, on the other hand, since he left New England, the real Tom came out.
So Tom came out.
We already knew. And then Josh Allen and Patrick Mahomes, they're young. That's what young kids do. They talk shit. It's a norm. But Mahomes and them came to play last night. Mahomes is a damn good golfer too. Him and Steph could have a post career if they wanted to just golf afterwards and be pretty damn good.
I believe it. I would 100% believe that.
Well, Kelce too. Kelce's actually not a bad golfer either. He right. Look, yeah. But golf is one of those sports where it's like it doesn't matter how athletic you are. It's a very technical sport. It's a smart man's game.
It's a smart man's game.
Yeah, it's just like if you play the game of chess. Like it's a smart man's game. I don't give a fuck how big you are or how athletic you are. How smart are you?
Strong doesn't matter.
No,
does not matter.
Like, and there's a lot of math involved in golf that people don't seem to pay attention to. A lot of math, a lot of science too. Like you're checking the wind, you're checking distance, you're checking angles. if I swing with a full swing versus a half swing or a quarter swing, like the difference in how far that putt's gonna go, like there's a lot that goes into that. I know this is a football show, but for those who just don't dabble, it involved football, so I had to make sure I shouted them out. Because look, my happy ass goes to Top Golf. That's the most golfing you're gonna catch me doing. I'm a driver. I ain't shit else.
I went
with a fat blunt.
I was on I got my Tiger Hoods on. We went to Bethpage. We went to Bethpage Black, and look, hey, I can get it to the fair. I can get it from the fairway to the green in about two to three good swings. Now getting on the greens, I can't putt to save my life.
Yeah, I'm 100% a top golfer, and I'm cool with it.
I like the intermediate game, right? The long to intermediate game. But once the putting comes, that's when I gotta really sit back, focus, and everybody gotta move. Everybody gotta get out the way, and you can't mess me up. Because if you mess up and I don't get this birdie, this club is swinging somewhere.
Oh, okay. you Johnny Manziel over there breaking clubs and shit. Okay, gotcha.
So get my 9 iron. Get my 9 iron right
now. So then keeping it with Travis Kelce and Patrick Mahomes. We kind of touched on this before. I want to go numbers. I'm going to get you guys numbers. I'm going to throw some numbers out football wise. And you tell me first name comes to your mind. There's no right or wrong for this. There's a method to my madness, but I want to see
I broke two.
Who comes to mind?
And that's how we golf right there.
Yeah. Because some of this is it's curiosity that did this to me. We touched on it before, like who's the most famous of the NFL players that wear this number? Okay, who's the most notable?
Okay.
So if I gave you the number 56, first name to pop up.
I actually don't have one that comes to mind.
I wish you would have said 55 first. Did you say 56? London Fletcher?
London Fletcher? You don't have one? That's crazy, GQ.
No, I mean
okay. I said
right off the top of my head, no. I like without coming into
but this is the purpose of it because I want to see because they're legendary players, and I just want to see if that legend personifies that number. Gotcha. I said Lawrence Taylor.
For 56?
Yeah.
I can understand that. I can dig that. London Fletcher, I feel like he always gets slighted when it comes to middle linebackers, especially compared to Ray Lewis. So I always got to give him his flowers whenever I can.
Okay. Well, you said 55. Who you got for 55?
Probably Junior Seau. Rest in peace.
See, I would go Derrick Brooks.
I can understand that too, though.
Yeah. See, obviously me. Yeah, it would be Derrick Brooks first, but Junior Seau. If I was putting the top 5, I'm putting Junior Seau in there, just without question, like I am. But
no, definitely Seau,
But Derrick Brooks, there's a lot of film out there on Derrick Brooks. We're going to leave it at that.
Okay. Here's another one. 7.
Oh, it's Mike Vick for me. I don't even know why that's.
It would probably be Vick or Elway.
Like, I know Elway was 7 too, but Vick.
But it's Vick for me. It's Vick for me. It's Vick.
See, I'm not the
number 9.
Number 9.
Yeah. Number 9.
First name always is going to be Drew Brees for me. Is always going to come up, but
yeah, Drew is in that conversation. Shit, that's the easiest one.
Drew,
the easiest 9.
I went Steve McNair.
And see, that's a very close second.
I'm not even mad about that. Like, I'm not mad about that at all. No, the numbers are there for McNair, and obviously the story and everything like that. So I'm not even mad at you for that.
Okay, let's spice it up a little bit.
Spicy.
84.
84.
See, now he's starting to call numbers that's kind of starting to get what's the word we're looking for? Log jam, where there's a lot.
Yeah.
Like,
right.
You want to go from the 70s to 80, like where you want to go. It's like
you tell me the first name. You hear 84.
Damn, I completely forgot about Romo.
But that's the purpose of this. That's why I said the first name that hit. When you see that number flash, who do you think of? 84.
Well, then it's got to be Moss. I mean,
Yeah, that's it has to be
that's
Moss.
gonna be for me one of the most notable. Obviously, gonna be Randy Moss. But you got Roddy White if you want to get a little more. If you go that route, knock yourself out. You're good. You can go way back. You want to go? Was it Gary Clark? Didn't Clark wear 84?
Gary Clark wore 84.
Yeah, so I'm like,
yep.
Where you want to go? Like,
yeah,
we start talking about these numbers, like
There's a point to all of this. I would say Antonio Brown. That would be me.
And shout out and honorable mention is Joey Galloway.
Definitely.
Honorable, yeah. Shannon, Sterling Sharp was my honorable mention.
Oh, okay, good deal. Yep, I'm with that.
92.
We're going to the big boys now. Oh, he said monsters. I mean, but that's just that just depends on what era you started watching.
Or whatever you grow. Yeah, that's why I said there's no right or wrong answer for this. It's just what for you who comes to mind.
92 is different.
You know what? Nah, I got to stick with the HBCU star himself. I got to go with Michael Strahan. That's the first 92. That's because I could do that. James Harrison, but I'm gonna stick with Strahan because that's. But I could also name my Patriots star and Richard Seymour too. But or if you want to go Haloti Nada, you want to play that game too. But I'm gonna go.
See, this is why I like saying this.
Seymour was dope on the Raiders too.
Yep.
I would say Reggie White.
And see,
I'm not mad at
always going to be the first name to come to mind whenever I hear 92. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Honorable mention is going to be Elvis Dumerville.
Ooh, that's a good one.
And we're not going to talk about Albert Hainsworth.
No, but like I said, this is why this is dope. This is why I want to do this. 87.
He playing with all these receivers and tight ends now. But I mean,
I'm gonna get to other numbers.
But we're gonna go Travis Kelce first. I mean, Reggie White will be a close second. But I mean, Reggie Wayne, not White. I apologize.
I would say probably Reggie Wayne is gonna be for me. I'll be the first name, either Reggie Wayne or Gronk.
Okay. Yeah, Travis Kelce for me. Gronk was second.
Yeah, you can don't honorable mention Musa Muhammad because he don't get talked about enough anymore since he left the game. Jordy Nelson
because
the Super Bowl.
Yeah, because
way back when, go Joe Horn just to throw a OG name out there.
Definitely Joe.
I think if I didn't say it, Mel was gonna say it, so I was like, let me just throw it out there.
It's good. Like I said, I'm just throwing names. Numbers out. We're gonna see 34.
34.
Walter Payton, Sweetness.
I was about to say Walter. Yeah, it's got to be Sweet Feet.
It's Bo Jackson.
You could go Earl Campbell if you wanted to, because Earl Campbell's in this conversation. Ricky Williams is in this conversation.
True.
Herschel Walker's. There's a lot of legends for 34. So
that's what I said.
That's a tough one.
If you
Thurman Thomas wore 34. Joe Perry wore 34.
36.
The bus.
The
bus. That's. I mean,
this is where it gets dicey because I want to pick numbers that defensive players wore and offensive players. The purpose of all this is this. I got a segment that I'm working on. It's going to be the Oklahoma drill, where let's just say with these numbers we get 21. You put LaDainian Tomlinson on one side, Deion Sanders on the other side. One person has 24 seconds to state their argument on why that player deserves that number over the other.
I can do that. I like
21 will be fun.
21 is definitely going to be fun. That's a different.
Well, 88. I think 88. Well, 88 has more Hall of Famers than 21 right now.
Yeah,
but 21,
80,
80 has a lot.
20. Like I said, it's offense and defense. That's the whole point of this. Yeah, like some of these numbers, and even with the offensively, we can do that too. Like Michael Irvin and who was the other Cowboy that wore 88? Why can't I think his name?
Dez Bryant.
Well, you got Dez, you got CeeDee Lamb, but the older.
Come on, Drew Pearson.
Drew Pearson. There you go.
Yeah, Drew. So your number 88s that are in the Hall of Fame: Alan Page, Marvin Harrison, Tony Gonzalez, Michael Irvin, Lynn Swann, Drew Pearson, John Mackey, Chris Carter, Max Speedy, Charlie Sanders, and Ace Parker. Now, when you go to the substantial players who are not in the Hall of Fame, that list is crazy. Demaryius Thomas, Dez Bryant, Chris Burford, Riley Odoms, Al Toon, Greg Olson, Sonny Randall, Keith Randall, Freddie Solomon, Aaron Thomas, Sam Williams, Torrey Holt. Hakeem Nicks, somebody who hadn't played in a while.
77. I would go with what was my man on the Redskins? Charles Mann. That would be my 77.
That would be fun.
Yeah. So that was the game I'm thinking of, the Oklahoma drill. We could put here's another one. Here's another nugget. Let me see where y'all go with this. Best triplet, in your opinion. Not that I'm gonna throw names. You just tell me. But like I said, it can be any three that you want. So, for example, you had Buffalo. You had Kelly, Thomas, Reed. In Buffalo, you had Marino and the Marx brothers. Dallas, you had Aikman, Emmett, Irvin.
That'll be
so. Yeah, so just think, we're gonna get there. We're gonna think about it. We're gonna think about it. These are just things I'm just throwing out there.
Okay, I like what I like where your brain is going. While we talking about all these notable numbers, something that has been happening all day, that is, I don't know if we'll call it. It's kind of football related, but it's more so just TV related. There's been a mass purge on ESPN, and it has been a lot of notable names, and one of them does relate to football because Todd McShay was one of those victims, and we know Todd McShay because he's one of the best college, scout and analysts out there for ESPN, but he's no longer there. Matt Hasselbeck, Steve Young, these are NFL personalities turned commentators that are no longer there anymore. Notably, you also did have you had Jeff Van Gundy, Jalen Rose, you had Keyshawn Johnson, Susie Colburn, Max Kellerman. They're all gone as well, but somehow a guy like Booger McFarland and Kendrick Perkins still have a job. I said what I said.
They're not gone. They're not. I don't think they left. I think what happened was the shows in which they were on got dissolved, but they still work for the company. At least that's what I heard. I don't know how true it is.
From my reading, which I have the article up now. These are people who were laid off.
They were laid off completely.
Yeah, these are laid off. Like they're ESPN, because obviously they fall under the Disney umbrella. So they had to cut costs because of all the new talent coming in, i.e. the big one, of course, being Pat McAfee, who's getting like $84 million. So they had to cut a lot of costs, and they're saving a considerable amount of money by laying off a lot of these individuals. Now, does that mean that these individuals can't come back? No. But as it currently stands, we're not done yet, because I think even going into tomorrow, there's going to be possibly more. Your main staples are still there.
If Malika Andrews' ass ain't one of them, will be upset.
Yeah. But so like even let me see. Matt Hasselbeck's gone, Todd McShay's gone, LaFonso Ellis, if you're into college basketball, Ashley Brewer from SportsCenter, college game day analyst David Pollock also gone, radio host Jason Fitz, Jordan Cornette, and baseball writer June Lee also all on this list.
As long as Bomani's not going, I'm good.
Now, you like Bomani?
Bomani's my guy. I love Bomani.
Well, Bomani would be fine if he did, because Bomani has his own show on HBO Max anyway, so he would be fine either way. Like, wouldn't really. True. So he would be fine. And I think a guy like Jalen Rose will bounce back just fine. Kellerman's big in the boxing world, so Kellerman will be fine as well. He's got a big-time podcast.
What about KJM on the radio every morning? Like, how was that going to work? Because that was a pretty big radio show.
I don't know, but
they canceled that. They canceled it.
Yeah, I know Keyshawn, J. Will, and Max is no mas. That show's gone.
Yeah.
But Jay Will is still employed by ESPN as it currently stands. That hasn't changed, and I don't think he's going anywhere. But the Susie Colbert one is huge because she's been with ESPN for like
she's been for a long time.
Yeah,
she's been
7 years. And I mean, same with Van Gundy. Van Gundy been there. He just recently signed a new contract like 2 years ago. Yeah. Jalen Rose been there for a while. So I'm just like but they like I said, they're making room because Pat McAfee's got an $85 million contract, and that's a lot of money.
Well, I wouldn't doubt it if part of this is Shannon Sharp too.
Yeah, and that's been a speculation as well that Shannon Sharp would be making his move. So we'll see what happens. I would be shocked. I'd be shocked if Shannon Sharp popped up on ESPN, just for other reasons. But we'll see. Because I think he can. This might sound crazy. I think he could do better.
Same.
I don't. It's not that I don't like ESPN, and I'm being like, it's just the personalities that are on ESPN versus FS1, I think FS1 has better personalities. Like I just do. They're more entertaining. They're more knowledgeable. It comes off like they don't really have a bunch of Kendrick Perk. Now, granted, we know Nick Wright is on FS1. I got you. That's the most notable one. But overall, one of the greatest normal daily shows that's on TV. I mean, you of course was Undisputed for a while, but I mean, Speak is on there. Speak has been on the downside a little bit, but Colin Cowherd's still been there. He came over from ESPN actually to FS1. He's been a staple. He has one of the best time slots out of any show.
Yeah.
Because of any breaking news that happens between essentially 11 and 2, he got you covered.
Yeah, and I wouldn't doubt it if what happens is they play ping pong and bring old people back in the sense of Marcellus Wiley isn't doing anything right now.
Yeah, he is. He has his own show.
No, what I mean when I say
TikTok.
Well, no, when I say not doing anything, I mean he's not part of a network. I know
True.
he's doing his own. He has his own like podcast or whatever he's doing.
Yeah. And if I'm realistic and I'm Marcel, I don't want to go back to ESPN. They let him go on some bullshit. Like when he got let go, he got let go on some bullshit. Yeah, there was a reason why he left, and a lot of it had to do with somebody that's currently still on TV.
Absolutely.
And he talked about it on a couple of his episodes. Like I wouldn't. Why would I go back?
Sure did.
Now, if FS1 comes to call, and I probably would come back.
Like going back to ESPN, and he has a very valid reason as to why he's not going back.
Yeah, and I actually enjoyed him on TV. I actually think he's very knowledgeable what he did, and even when he was on Speak for Yourself by himself at one point, or even when he was on Numbers Don't Lie, which I thought was actually a pretty damn good show. Him and Michelle Beadle had great on-screen chemistry, but neither one of them are around.
Yeah, but that's why I said going back to like I said, it's not so much. I think what's happening is there is a reconfiguration going on in ESPN because I think I think Disney had their hands too deep in people's pockets.
Yeah.
And they were dictating a lot of what happens on ESPN. And it got a little too political, a little too sports once it wasn't about the sports for a long time.
Yeah, it's
and
I completely understand. I completely agree. I agree with what you're saying too. Like they did fall by the wayside because I do think when they did that, I think that's when FS1 kind of took over.
Yes,
and because 100%, I think and yes, FS1 does some of the same stuff, but it seems more under control.
Yes.
Like it's more of a segment. It's not the entire show. We're going to talk about whatever just happened. Like we talk about in this little segment and then we move on. Type of shit. But yeah, ESPN has been a bit on a bit of a downside. I mean, you've had your regular staples. I mean, like Van Pelt, his show being late at night, he's still funny as hell. He's good people. People say what you want about Stephen A. Smith, but Stephen A. Smith at one point was carrying ESPN by himself because everybody else was trash. You don't have to like him, but if you look at what he does, he generates ratings, and at the end of the day, ratings over everything.
Ratings is king,
and that's probably why a guy like Kendrick Perkins still has a job because he generates ratings because people make fun of him. But that's neither here nor there. And I don't like making fun of my fellow Texas boy like that. But sometimes he be saying some shit that I'd be like, bro. But we ain't gonna talk about NBA stuff right now. But
yeah, all right. So let's get to the next portion. This is the meat and potatoes of it. We're gonna do our first. We normally do offense a lot. We do a lot of offensive stuff. So we're gonna do what we're gonna call the Inside the Huddle. This is because you got the all Madden team. This is the all Inside the Huddle team. We're gonna do defense. So what kind of defense y'all want to run? Y'all want to run a 3-4-4-3, 3-3-5? What you want to run?
Personal preference. I'd like a 3-4.
Okay. 3-4. Okay, hold on. Just came through. I know this is a football show, but I'm a Warriors fan. Draymond Green just agreed to a $100 million deal, $100 million extension with the Golden State Warriors.
No surprise there. There's no surprise there whatsoever.
As I said, everybody who was telling me Draymond wasn't coming back, you don't know what you're talking about. I'm a Warrior fan. I know what I'm talking about.
Okay, so we're gonna do.
I like a bear defense. Just me personally, single high safety. That's just me. Get after the quarterback. My safety guy.
Yeah, but I come out 4 wide receivers. I'm gonna kill you in that bear defense.
I got it. Don't worry about it. You
ain't got enough. You ain't got enough coverage. You don't got enough coverage.
Oh, we do.
Ain't no coverage. Ain't no coverage for that.
There's coverage. I got you. Because all that stuff that you're going to run across the middle is getting eliminated.
I don't even got to run it across the middle. That's the whole point. You running a bare defense. Your flats are wide open. Flats and seams. I'm gonna kill you.
Try it.
Flats and seams.
Try it. I want you to try it. I want you to. That's what everybody think when they see the bare defense. When they see my bare defense, they think, them flats and them seams is open. And then your slot receiver is going to be out of the game because he's going to be concussed. And then your running back is going to be out of the game because he's going to be concussed.
Who going to hit him?
Don't worry about that. Don't worry about that. That's all part of the scheme. But don't worry about that. I can't give away my scheme. But
so you're gonna run the bear.
Just know. It's up.
Yeah, touchdowns is gonna be up. That's what's gonna be up.
Okay.
All right. So we're gonna pick our 11 all inside the huddle team. We're gonna run a 3-4. We're not gonna run that bear defense. That's ridiculous.
I would pick a 4-3 before a bear, but that's just me.
Yeah, I'll definitely rock a 4-3. But we'll go 3-4. We'll go 3-4. This way we can, but like I said, we're gonna go best 3 defensive linemen. So we're gonna go 2 DNs, a nose tackle, 2 inside, 2 outsides. Okay. You want to do the safeties matter by position? You want to go free and strong, or just 2 safeties?
Just 2 safeties. You ain't got to go too crazy with it because most times they can be pretty interchangeable anyway.
Okay, so we're going to do this by democratic vote. Majority.
All right.
Majority wins. Okay. Starting at the first defensive end. First selection. Who you got? I'm gonna go Aaron. I would say Aaron Donald.
Okay.
DN?
A DN?
That's what he is. He's a DN.
Well, fair enough. I'd like to throw a hat in the ring for Bruce Smith.
Okay, Bruce.
I mean, that's just one. We talk about right now, so.
But we got we got 2, so we can always split the difference.
DN?
Yeah.
What, you don't like Bruce? You don't like Bruce Smith, the DN?
Oh no, I'm still thinking about the Aaron Donald. I'm not.
Oh, okay. No. I'm telling you right now, he wouldn't even be my other end. No. I would put him in the middle, but that's.
I was gonna say I would put him in the middle, but you said Bruce Smith, right, bro?
Yeah, I did.
Okay. Give me Strahan.
Okay, so.
Give me Strahan.
Strahan.
Yeah, give me Strahan. Strahan.
Okay.
What is left?
Okay,
so
we got 3 totally different. So we got
3 completely different ones here.
Yeah. So we got So we got to pick one. All right. So we need a left and a right defensive end. So we got to have 2. So I'm gonna throw another name in there. I'm gonna throw Reggie White in there. So that's how y'all feel. So where we going with this?
That's cool. And I'm gonna throw Richard Seymour in there. I'm gonna be that guy. I gotta have one fandom pick in there, so I'm gonna throw my one. This
is all time. This is our all Madden team. This is it. Like this is the best of the best.
And you're 100% right. And in my opinion, like I said, Richard Seymour is one of those that can fit in anybody's defensive scheme. 100%. The size, the speed, the hands, and he could be very disruptive.
Give me Charles Haley. Actually, no, take that back. Give me Julius Peppers.
You went with another long body. See, we went with long body D. I see where you at, but we thinking long body.
Okay.
Long body cat, dude.
Yeah,
Here's some long body DNs we thinking about. Seymour has some long paws, man. Because I wanted to go JJ Watt, but I was like, nah, I like Seymour better than I like JJ Watt.
Okay, so so the 3 of us, we all over the place. So we're gonna have to narrow this down. We're gonna have to narrow this down to 2 of them.
So let's start with who we not going with.
Who we not going with?
I would much rather put Aaron Donald in the middle. I'm just going to throw that out there immediately because I think him in the middle with any combination of DNs we put is going to be ridiculous.
Absolutely.
He has to be on the field. If we're going to make this all 11 in a 3-4, I definitely want Aaron Donald in the middle, plugging up the hole.
In a 3-4, yeah.
In a 3-4, absolutely. It don't matter what DNs we use at that point because any of the ones
over a Vince Wilfork. Mind you, remember this is a 3-4 defense.
Yeah, no.
You need a big.
Yeah. And that would be tough because I would love to. I want to throw Vince Wilfork's name out there because I love my man Wilfork. I saw his daughter live and in person throwing shot put at Friendswood High School down here in Texas, and she's damn near as big as him.
Nada.
Yeah, there's a lot.
Nada.
There's a lot.
Like
that's gonna be a fun conversation here in a minute.
Yeah, like okay. So defense end. Okay, so we're gonna. Okay, so we said Bruce Smith.
Mm-hmm.
Charles Haley, I don't agree with. Dope. I mean, he's dope. I believe he's very, very accomplished.
Bruce Smith, Strahan, Peppers, and
Seymour. And then you threw Aaron Donald out there as well.
Yeah.
And you threw Aaron Donald out there as well, yeah.
Okay. So votes to all right, so we gotta do it like this. So to keep
3 of us, we good.
That's what I'm saying. So to vote to keep Charles Haley, all hands up. So no Charles Haley. Okay, so he's out. Charles Haley's out. Okay, Michael Strahan. Strahan. Okay, so Strahan stays for now. What did we say? Bruce Smith? Hands up for Bruce Smith.
Ooh,
okay.
I gotta give it to him.
Okay, so Bruce Smith, he got all 3, so he stays automatic. So what did we say? Seahorn. Jason was
Richard Seymour?
Richard Seymour, my bad. I was about to say Jason Seahorn. Richard Seymour.
Did you make up a guy?
No, Jason Seahorn played corner for the Giants.
I don't know why I thought you said like a mixture of like Richard Seymour and Jason Statham and just made a new guy. I was like, who the fuck is he talking about?
Okay. So Richard Seymour.
Yeah, but I'm gonna Seymour my
So you're gonna go Seymour? What you got? Mo?
I go for Seymour. He was a Raider.
Okay.
I give it to Seymour.
Okay, Seymour stays. Reggie White. Y'all know Reggie on me. I'm the only one in on Reggie White.
I'm not.
The NFL sack leader. Wow, that's crazy. That is nuts. Okay.
That's crazy. I love Reggie too.
I do love Reggie, but like this.
All
Damn,
time
it's a tough list.
Oh,
this is tough.
This is tough.
Okay.
We are limited. We are limited to 2 players. Like,
well, defensive ends is a 2. It's left and right, so it's gonna come down to 2 regardless. So basically we're saying Bruce Smith and Michael Strahan. Well, because you said Julius Peppers.
Yeah, we did say Julius Peppers.
All those in favor of Julius Peppers, say aye.
I'm gonna keep this competitive.
Okay.
We need some discussion here.
Okay, so then we got 2. So that comes down to Strahan and Julius Peppers. You taking Strahan? And
we got we got Peppers and we got Bruce Smith. We have 3.
Well, Bruce Smith got all 3 of our hands up.
Yeah,
okay, so Bruce Smith's unanimous. Okay, so we
he's unanimous.
Unanimous votes. Okay, I got you. Now now I'm following you.
So right now we have Strahan and Julius Peppers. So Strahan over. So we're gonna go Strahan over Peppers. Hands up, Strahan over Peppers. Hands down, Peppers over Strahan.
Nah, I'm gonna go with Peppers on that one. If I got to pick between those, so I'm gonna go with Peppers because that's gonna give us two monsters with long arms and big ass hands.
Okay, so Peppers wins. So basically, we're saying right now our defensive ends is Julius Peppers and Michael and Brett and Bruce Smith.
Yes, I'm gonna write this down. Oh, you writing it down? Okay.
Yep.
I just want to make sure we know.
No,
it's not a bad. It's not bad.
I can rock that.
Okay, so with that being said, so I guess I'm going to get outvoted on the nose tackle here. Y'all believe that it should be Aaron Donald?
No, I just said he's in the conversation.
I'm a big because in the 3-4, I'm one of big body, so I'm thinking Haloti Nada. I'm thinking of Vince Wilfork. I'm thinking a big dude.
Yeah, my nod would be for Vince Wilfork if I got to.
That's what I'm thinking. Big body regardless, either Haloti or Vince, but you can go either one. I'm not mad at either.
I'm saying, Vince Wilfork would be my pick.
Yeah, I would rock with Vince Wilfork. Long as he promised to keep the overalls put away.
Yep, I would rock with Vince.
No, he got to show up.
No, I need the overalls.
He got to. Yeah, I need those. I need the overalls.
Period.
Okay.
There was a funny ass moment during Hard Knocks though.
Okay. So we got our front three: Julius Peppers, Bruce Smith, Vince Wilfork.
Good luck running the ball.
I was gonna say good luck running the ball.
Linebackers. Let's start with the inside. This because I think the outside is going to be hard as hell. Insides. Now I'm throwing two names right out the top because, like I said, we just throwing linebackers. You give me Luke Kuechly, Ray Lewis.
I was going to name the same two.
I was going to say Patrick Willis or Luke Kuechly.
And I was about to say Patrick Willis would be my third for sure.
I'm not mad at that at all.
Like, those would be the three right off the rip. Like, those would be the three names that come to mind.
Yep.
All right.
And
so, what are we agreeing on?
That's the fun part. Is do we go with Kuechly? Do we go with
I think Ray's automatic. I think the argument is Kuechly over what's his face?
Patrick Willis.
And if you want to be ignorant, you can throw Brian Urlacher in.
So I would give the nod to Patrick Willis because I think Patrick Willis is a better run stopper than Kuechly.
That's what I was going to bring up. I was going to say, what do you want, run stop or do you want pass stop?
That's the question.
You think Patrick Willis is better run stopper than Luke Kuechly?
I've watched a lot of film on Patrick Willis in the red zone, and he is not the one you want to fuck with in the red zone. Like, he is not the one you want to fuck with in the red zone. Like, he will stop, and it don't matter if it's Marshawn Lynch, no matter who it is. Like,
well, that's the thing. It's like you said, red zone. Luke Kuechly ain't nobody to fuck with from end zone to end zone.
Yeah, that's cool, but I got Ray Lewis already, so I'm not concerned because Ray Lewis played all over the place. In a positive.
But remind you, this is the 3-4. It's not a 4-3. So him getting sideline to sideline isn't as important because you're splitting the field with those two linebackers.
Yeah, and I 100% believe that Patrick Willis could do that. There's no doubt in that whatsoever.
For me personally, I like Patrick Willis sideline to sideline better than I like Kuechly. That's just me personally.
Like I said,
that's what I'm taking.
So, all right. So now throw two. Like I said, I'm gonna throw two names. I said Brian Urlacher and Junior Seau.
He got no votes for me.
Brian Urlacher doesn't get any votes for me. I'm sorry.
Junior
Seau. Not in the middle. He don't. Seau, on the other hand, somebody just knocking heads off. That's one.
But Urlacher, no.
Yeah.
Mike Singletary.
That's another head buster.
Singletary, I can definitely get with. I gotta say Seau. I gotta give Seau his credit because I am in San Diego right now. So.
If you
gotta give Seau his credit.
If I'm being forced to pick between Junior Seau and damn, why did I shoot a blank?
Because right now it's Pat. So right now Kuechly is out.
Mm-hmm.
Patrick Willis is the other guy.
Give me Mike Singletary in that conversation. Give me Singletary.
I would take Singletary in that conversation.
Give me Singletary over Seau. Because I don't think people watched enough film on Mike Singletary, if I'm being real.
They didn't.
Like I think because you've seen the latter more, so you don't realize just how good he gets a bad rep as a coach. People forget how great of a player he truly is.
Yeah, well, that's why
if you look at it and you watch the film, he was one of the smartest linebackers.
Yeah, and I want in the 3-4, I want linebackers that are highly intelligent, and Mike Singletary is one of them.
High football IQ.
Okay, so now goes to, is it Patrick Willis or Mike Singletary?
Ooh, that's a big one.
Now that's where shit gets real because I think they're both highly intelligent. So
very. Because
Patrick Willis was reading whole ass offensive plays before they even happened. Like he was like in the Matrix type of shit. Like
same with Luke Kuechly though. So
oh shit.
Damn, that's difficult. I'm not gonna lie, that's difficult. That's very difficult. Damn. They're coming with that fire today because goodness gracious.
Yeah, no, I'm with it. You know what? He said Willis only because he's bigger.
But
Singletary wasn't afraid to hit nobody though.
Exactly. And he was so smart. He would be in that hole before he even opened up.
You know what? Give me Singletary. As much I want Willis. I really want Willis, but give me Singletary. Like I'm not going to do an all-time defense and not have Mike Singletary like that in a 3-4 especially. Go ahead and give me
coach at
Singletary.
linebacker. That's what I'm getting.
Yeah, because then now I got Ray Lewis and Mike Singletary. They finna dissect an entire offense before it pre-snap.
Yeah.
Like,
okay. So we got Ray and Mike in the middle. Outside. This is where it gets spicy. This is because you got to think what the responsibility of that outside linebacker is.
Gap responsibility. Gap responsibility.
And in a 3-4, because in a 3-4 they're mostly pass rushers. In a 3-4.
True.
Like I said, I'm gonna throw names out and we see where we go from there. Derek Brooks, Lawrence Taylor,
James Harrison.
Clay Matthews.
Terrell Suggs, Kevin Green. I'm missing somebody. Oh shit, DeMarcus Ware. Because he kind of did both. He was a DN and a linebacker. He kind of depended on what the scheme was, but he was a damn good outside linebacker.
Yeah,
Von Miller.
Yeah, Von Miller. That's another one.
Ooh, that was a big one.
Yeah.
That's what I said. This is where it gets spicy right here. Because you only got 2.
Do we want to throw Dip Buckus in there?
No, I was just about to get to the old dudes right now.
Okay, I got you. I was making sure. I was like, where we at?
Because you got Deacon Jones.
Yeah. Jack Lambert. You got Jack Lambert.
Yeah.
So this is gonna get real complicated.
Oh, this is gonna get real.
And look, another steal. Let's not forget about Mr. Ham himself, Jack Ham.
Yep, Jack Ham. This
is gonna be fun. Yeah. This one's gonna be fun. Shit. All right. I'm over here looking at my notes like, All right. Because I want to take the recency bias as far out of this as possible. I want to just keep it as realistic as humanly possible. Because depending on how you want to string this, because even a guy like
I got one for y'all. You ready?
Go for
Hendricks.
it. Who? Hendricks.
Matt Stork, Ted Hendricks.
Mm-hmm.
That's lame.
Yeah. So
then you had Zach Thomas and London Fletcher too. Joey Porter.
See?
Those were middles. I wouldn't see those. I like Zach Thomas, but he looked too much like Barney Rubble to me.
Well, and Porter and Fletcher also did kind of go back and they didn't exclusively play middle. They also did play outside. Right. But I understand where the conversation is, so we'll leave them off. But so you have 2 undersized guys at linebacker. Granted, they could hit, but you lose nothing having Willis with his
2 undersized. Ray Lewis is bigger than Patrick Willis.
Ray Lewis is not undersized. In what world?
Ray Lewis wasn't undersized.
Mike
Singletary
might be undersized, but that ain't.
Mike Singletary wasn't undersized. He was what 6'1", 2.
Yeah, he wasn't that
30.
undersized. They expect people to.
You have to define what undersized mean to me, but
yeah,
I'll be that guy. And the first one I'll throw out there, and I'm gonna throw James Harrison out there.
James Harrison. Don't hate it.
Because if you're going to put this all-time 3-4 together, you need somebody that just has that anger. And James Harrison and Ray Lewis on the field together even though they were bitter rivals just because they played in the same division, but Ray Lewis and James Harrison together would just be ignorant as hell. Like that's the whole side of the field shut down, like interior wise. Like you're not running on this particular side because of those 2 guys. Well,
I think Derek Thomas. If you got Derek Thomas and Lawrence Taylor on the outsides,
I would go James Harrison and Lawrence Thomas. Those would be the 2 because you can't not put Lawrence. You just can't. You got to put him.
Yeah, you need if you're gonna have an all-time defense, Lawrence Taylor has to be on your defense.
Yeah,
it's just
okay. So we got LT is 1.
Yeah, LT is unanimous.
So then who's on the other side?
That's where we get. Question. That's where the conversation comes into play. Because I've got James Harrison. You're talking what you said. Derek Brooks. Mel, is that what you going with?
I said either Derek Brooks or Derek Thomas. Take it, Derek.
Either Brooks or either one of the Dereks. We got 2 Dereks. Gotcha. What say you, Moo?
Damn.
Because it's hard to leave off like Von Miller and DeMarcus Ware. It's hard to leave those guys off. Like it really is.
No, it's hard. It gets wait till we get to the secondary. That shit gonna be hard.
Shit. Yeah. Hell, I think the corners is easier than these linebackers.
I think the cornerbacks will be safety is going to be hard.
Safety will be hard. Corner, I don't think will be as hard.
I think I'm gonna rock with Derek Thomas.
Okay, so we got 2 for D Tom.
Mm-hmm. So, Derek Thomas. That's where you're going.
That's it's 2.
Okay.
That's I mean that's majority rules if we play in democracy. So
All right. So LT and DT on the outsides.
not bad at all.
Let's cornerback. I'm gonna say the safeties for last. 'Cause I think, like you said, the cornerbacks should be easy. I'm putting these two. We talked about this before.
Go right ahead.
I already said Charles Woodson and Dion are the 2 for me. Y'all can go, and then we can debate it after that. I think Prime is. I think Prime is the consensus other. Like he's one of them.
I have zero problem. I have zero problem with Prime being one of them without question. Like that's just.
I mean, you could cheat and put You could put both the Woodsons at corner.
You could, but then
you could. But I'm not. I mean, but you're not. Yeah, I'm not sitting Dion for nobody.
So I'm fine with Dion on one side, and he said Charles and Dion no comp. I ain't mad at that either. But
that's me.
But I want to keep it old school too, and I'm gonna put Night Train Lane on the other side.
Not mad at that. I'm not mad at that.
Because I'm like I said, I want to do my best to not be as recent as possible. We got a guy like with that, we don't have guys like Prime, and he's like without a Night Train Lane. Like these are the guys who helped make that mold of a corner, and Night Train Lane was one of those guys. Granted, none of us were born really, but that's not the point. It's the principle of the situation. There's film out there for those who like to get on YouTube and stuff. There's film on this. It's not a lot, but it's enough for you to be like, all right, this dude could play in the modern NFL and fuck some shit up. This is a corner that loved to hit running backs easily. He was enamored with hitting running backs.
I'm 100% like I'm with it. Like I said, I'm not mad at the selection. That's not even the case. My thing is we're gonna talk about the best 2 guys I've ever seen do it on those at that position. Not, like I said, he might have been the blueprint, but these 2 dudes took the blueprint and then added on to it. That's just my personal. I've been saying it for years. Is Woody? Well, it's Prime, and then there's Woody, and then there's everybody else. So we can, like I said, we can rock out. We can vote. We can vote on number 2. I think we all can, unless there's a difference in opinion in who the number 1 is.
Yeah. Where you at? Where you at, Moo?
I mean, honestly, C Wood is my favorite DB of all time, so I'm definitely gonna go with Prime and C Wood. Honestly, like I really don't see any other combinations that can be that lethal other than both Woodsons on both sides. But yeah, I'm going C Wood and Prime definitely. Night Train is super.
Yeah. Yeah, no, he's right there. He's right there for me. Okay, so we got Prime and Woody. This where it gets this.
Yeah, but
this is where
there's so many directions we can go with this.
Nasty with this. Like, that's why I asked you want to go free and strong or just 2 safeties.
I'm content with 2 safeties because I feel like any of the safeties we name on this list could play free or strong, realistically.
Right. So
like which could we talk all-time greats.
I'm throwing out my 2. Y'all can throw out y'all 2, and then we go from there.
I'm listening.
I'm going Ed Reed and Brian Dawkins. Then y'all can go from there.
Literally had the exact same 2, and it was really hard because I was going between Ronnie Lott and Brian Dawkins. Ed Reed was my consensus. There was no. Ed Reed was a quarterback playing safety. I don't give a fuck what nobody say. Ed Reed is a quarterback playing safety, and he owned Peyton Manning. Peyton Manning did not like playing against Ed Reed whatsoever, and it's just the way he played. And when he caught a pick, there was a good chance he was scoring because he was faster than you realize. But then you got a guy like Brian Dawkins who will knock your motherfucking block off no matter where you are on the field. You coming out the backfield or you catching the ball across the middle, Brian Dawkins is coming.
Big, small, short, tall,
didn't matter.
Fat, skinny, fast, slow,
did not discriminate.
Didn't matter.
Now, now, of course, our honorable mentions, Troy Polamalu is in there because, I mean, you know it. I mean,
Sean Taylor was this. I was this far from picking Sean Taylor.
Rodney Harrison, just because I got to throw the name out there. But, Jack Tatum, if you want to go way back, just another guy who played really well.
Eric Turner.
I just want to throw Eric Weddle out there because I liked watching that small-ass guy just light people up. Because Eric Weddle wasn't afraid to hit
Bob Sanders.
Yep, Bob Sanders. Another good one. Donnie Snell, another one.
Yeah.
Darren Sharper, however you feel about Darren Sharper.
Yep.
Darren Sharper,
So
Yeah,
the hardest safety in the league.
Earl Thomas, even though he's still kind of more newer, my man Lawyer Malloy, I got to throw my Patriot out there just to do it.
Yep.
Well, I had Rodney Harrison too, but
Eric Berry.
Eric Berry is another one. And we're not gonna forget about Steve Atwater. I know Mel was probably gonna say it, but I'm gonna throw it out there anyway.
No, I said Steve Atwater. I said Steve Atwater and Eric Turner, Leroy Butler, Cam Chancellor.
Ooh, good call. That was a good one. Oh, Ken Hudson. I'm Houston. Sorry, Ken Houston. Sorry.
Cam is a really good one.
But it's Ed Reed and Brian Dawkins for me. And all I'm gonna say is good luck for tight ends catching the ball across the middle.
Yeah, I got it. So
even a guy like Gronk will probably have problems with those two catching the ball across the middle. At least getting hit, not catching it. He'll probably catch it, but he gonna get a lick put on him.
Yeah, honestly, it's probably gonna be this. It's gonna be the two reasons why I wear number 20 in Ed Reed and Brian Dawkins. Like Brian Dawkins, really, like I said, I'm not even an Eagles fan. Brian Dawkins was quite literally had me glued to the TV. He's literally the reason why I wear number 20. Other than Ed Reed being that ball hawk that he was, but Brian Dawkins is the embodiment of the perfect safety to me. Physical.
Is it not ironic that we named two birds, a raven and an eagle? But you know what? Kudos to us. Kudos to us 100%. Because we just said that we were going to have a problem with safeties, and we literally all three had the same safeties across the board.
Right.
That's shocking. That's actually shocking. I didn't know what direct. Because I actually thought you would have went with Ronnie Lott. Just because I would. And
Ronnie that's my guy. But if any, like my story with Brian Dawkins is crazy, so that's my guy, 100% always. Like whenever me and my cousin was ready to get going, because we both played in the secondary, it was Brian. It was Weapon X highlights before the game.
Highlights.
Yep.
Every single game, right before the game, every single game. Close second, Sean Taylor and Trey Polamalu.
That's what I said. I was this far from picking Sean. Sean Taylor is probably the most complete safety in NFL history.
Yep, absolutely.
I won't fight you on that. I would if I had to come up with a second, it would probably be Sean Taylor and Ronnie Lott. That'd probably be my second for a combination. I'd be perfectly fine with that. I would feel comfortable knowing that those two guys are in the backfield. I would have no problem with that.
Yeah.
And Ed Reed, just because, come on now, what he did in college at the U.
Yeah, like we're not gonna like
speech.
The legend of Ed Reed goes way back to college before the NFL legend was a thing. Like we not, yeah.
Yep.
And the fact that there was a point in time that you had Ed Reed and Ray Lewis on the field together, like that just mentally doesn't register. It sounds terrible. Like how did you let the Ravens do this? That's more of the better question. How did you let the Ravens do this?
Yeah. Well, I think that's another thing we're gonna do coming up forward. I want to really dissect. I want to put that Ravens defense up against some of the better offenses and want to see how they would fare.
I like it.
So we're going to do that one day. So just to recap, the first all inside the huddle team. We have Bruce Smith, Julius Peppers, Vince Wilfork, Ray Lewis, Mike Singletary, Derek Thomas, Lawrence Taylor, Charles Woodson, Deion Sanders, Ed Reed, Brian Dawkins. That's nuts. That's nasty. Honestly, I would
go. Make sure you're paying attention. Timestamp that. Cut that video up. Need that TikTok because I want all the NFL fans out there, and I don't want the new fans. I want the OGs that've been watching football for longer than 10 years. Drop your all-time defense. I want to compare. I legitimately want to compare. I want to see because I guarantee you this, and you can timestamp this one too. Most people are going to have so much recency bias that they're going to forget about the OGs. This list did not do that.
Yep.
Yeah.
Because 20 years from now, I tell you right now, this list won't be much different for me.
I don't think it'll change.
It won't be much different for me. Like it might. It just won't. Because I don't think we will see a corner like a Deion Sanders. I don't think we'll see another Ed Reed and a Brian Dawkins. Like I don't think we'll have another Ray Lewis. I don't think we'll have another. We won't have another Lawrence Taylor. There's only one Lawrence Taylor.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't see a lot of change now. Like that's just me.
Like I said, you can flip flop. Like I said, there's only two spots where you can flip flop in this entire and that's one of the defensive ends
Mm-hmm.
and the nose tackle.
Yeah.
And that's just based on preference at that point.
And I'd love to see, once we get like our offenses together, like I want to see somebody who plays Madden to put these two teams together and just run a simulation just to see how it would go. Because I think our all-time defense would be pretty damn good. I think our all-time defense would be pretty damn good on Madden. I'm just saying.
Oh yeah, no, that'll be a tough team to work against right there. That is.
I just want to see which. I just want to know which running back you would choose. That's my first. Like do you go with the power back or you go with the back who can catch the ball out of the backfield? Because that's a serious question against that type of a defense.
Yeah, I think
I would go
defense.
Yeah, but offense is going next week. And next week, I won't be here next week. So yeah, we're going to have to figure this out.
We got some planning.
So I'll try. Yeah, I'll try my best. We'll figure it out. All right, that's that. Because we're gonna try and see if we can update this every year. We're gonna see. Well, no, you know what? This is the all-time team. We're gonna do decade teams next. So we're gonna get the all defense team. All offense will be next, and then we'll do our all decade teams. We'll start in the 80s. We'll start from 80 up to the 2020s.
So y'all keep checking it out, man. We got content coming for your ass, man.
And then and I got something else I'm gonna work on. I'll talk to you guys behind the scenes on this. It's our 7-on-7. I'm gonna tell you about that. So let's break these schedules down.
We taking it to the west side. So
yeah,
that means, ladies and gentlemen, we are on to the AFC and the NFC West. The Wild Wild West. So the question becomes, do we want to start with them Seattle Seahawks or do we want to start with them Denver Broncos?
Let's go with the Seahawks first since they got rid of Russell Wilson, and let's give them their kudos for having. It was a great season for the Seattle Seahawks given there was no expectations on that team, and I would say they exceeded what everybody thought they were going to be last year.
I think it was a great season for Geno Smith, the Renaissance man himself, because he came into the league with high expectations, even though he had a terrible fucking bowl game, and got drafted to New York, got exposed, got destroyed, became an afterthought, got picked up by Seattle, and all of a sudden had a resurgence of a year.
I believe, yes, 100%.
I think that speaks to Pete Carroll as well. His genius, his resiliency, his innovation to stay with the time.
Yeah.
And
you know what? He's one of the few old head coaches that molded with the times, because he failed in the NFL for a little bit. Then he had his stint with the Patriots. Then he went down to USC, figured out, okay, I need to bring some of this type of offense to the NFL. And then came to the NFL and became a really good, I'm going to call him an all-around coach. I don't really think Pete Carroll specifies. I think he's really good at the all-around game, as you want in a head coach who's good at all three levels of the game. There's not a lot of coaches that you can plug in as one of those spots and he would excel. And I think Pete Carroll's one of those that could do that. Just from what I've watched. So let's get with the times, get with the schedule. So right out the rip, the Seattle Seahawks open up the season against the Los Angeles Rams. I think that's a dub.
That's a dub.
I don't have a lot of hope in this Rams team. I just don't. Now, I do think the Rams, and we'll talk about this in a couple of future shows from now, I think the Rams may be in the Caleb Williams contest at some point in time. But
that's not a bad take. They actually might be.
But we'll cross that bridge when we get to it, because I have a team that people probably ain't thought about yet. There's also that might win that race. Week 2, this is where we'll see what kind of Detroit team this is. I'm sorry, Seattle team, because they play Detroit. Yes, go. We talking about your fucking Lions. But this is a 10 a.m. game, but I think Detroit wins this game.
Detroit.
I like what Detroit has done. I think Detroit.
I'm gonna say no.
I like it, and I do think this will be a close game. But I'm gonna give the nod to Detroit for this early game.
I'm leaning on the reason why I'm doing this is because my thought process is that the Lions will go in with a lot of hope this season,
as they should,
and they're not going to exceed it. And I think because it has to fail in order for Hendon Hooker to get in.
Fair enough.
So
I see where you're going there. You're trying to get Hooker in the mix ASAP.
Right. That's my goal.
But I like Jared Goff with this Detroit Lions team. Like I actually think this is probably one of this is a good place for him.
Honestly.
And his numbers reflected it. He actually was a pretty damn good quarterback last year with Detroit. And they weren't as good. I think this year is one of their best shots at actually winning the division, which they have not done in a very fucking long time.
No, but my thing is, you don't draft. See, the thing about it is, Jared Goff is young enough that he can. I think the future is in Hendon Hooker. So if Jared Goff continues to play, you can get a false sense of, oh, he's our future. He's not the future. Hendon Hooker is the future.
I mean, you say that, but most of the way this team is built for the strengths of Jared Goff right now. You got him a young running back that's pretty talented. You got talented receivers. Granted, one of them suspended for gambling, which we already talked about earlier in this, but you've got one of the great up and coming receivers in Amon-Ra St. Brown as well on this roster, who could easily make a bid for top five in this league this upcoming season because he's that talented of a receiver.
No, 100%. But like I said, a healthy Hendon Hooker is light years better than Jared.
I'm not going to argue with you yet, but I will say we know how it goes with NFL players or just football players in general. That first year removed from an ACL injury, this would not be a good year for him to play because he won't perform to his top of his ability.
No, but that's what I'm saying is like the better Jared Goff. This is his last season on that contract. They have to make a decision on him at the end of the season. So if they go, if they go 11-6, 10-7, they're going to extend him, which means you put Hendon Hooker back even more.
I mean, if Hendon Hooker is that good, he ought to beat him in training camp.
But this is the Seahawks conversation. We'll get to the Lions punk ass.
We will
in a couple weeks.
100%. Week 3, they've got the Carolina Panthers with that tiny ass toddler at quarterback.
Oh no, they're gonna beat the life out of the car. They're gonna beat the life out of the Panthers.
Yeah. Like, don't get me wrong, Detroit's secondary may have been suspect last year, but not that front line, not that front seven. That front seven is good.
Yeah.
And that front seven gonna have Mr. Young running.
Mm-hmm. That interior box is crazy. That interior box is really crazy. It's packed with a lot of crazy skilled young players.
But that secondary was kind of poo-poo. They was giving up a lot of yards last year.
Until Jeff Okuda finally decided that he wanted to play football again.
Week 4, they have got against Troy's Little Giants. Monday Night Football.
Their schedule is very light in the beginning. They might come out the gate pretty hot.
It really is. Honestly, they got a really light schedule at the beginning.
So hold what you got on that. The first quarter is light. Wait till we get to the second quarter, because they are one of the teams with an early bye week. They have a week 5 bye, but I do think they'll beat the brakes off of Troy's Little Giants. I don't have any faith in the Giants right now, especially with all the Saquon conversations. Like I just don't have faith in the Giants. I don't have faith in the Giants winning 7 games this year. I'm just gonna say it like that.
The only person who's set in stone on the Giants is Daniel Jones, and that's not a good thing.
No, it's not. No. So like I said, they're one of the early NFL teams who has a bye. So for all my fantasy football players, keep that in mind. That is an early ass bye week in fantasy. That's very early as shit. So keep that in mind. But they needed that bye week because they come out to bye against the Cincinnati Bengals. Now we get to see what kind of Detroit team we got. Now we get to see, even if they lose that game, can they be competitive? And that becomes the question. And I think they can be competitive. I actually like Seattle's defense. Like I think Seattle's defense is good. And I think that game will be closer than it appears.
It's going to be very close. It's not because I love Seattle's offense.
Yeah.
I love it. I love their offense. I like everything that they have. It just is Geno going to be able to piggyback of what he did last season? Because I think Pete Carroll's going to make the defense is going to be solid. The defense is going to.
The draft tells us 100% the defense is going to be better because they drafted accordingly. The problem becomes, will Cincinnati's O-line hold up? It's improved, but it's still not what you need for Joe Burrow. Now, we just talked about. Now, I do think Seattle has a really underrated secondary, and that's
the defense. I think the defense is going to be. Yeah, the defense. I think the defense is going to do their job. It just does. Does Geno Smith continue to progress, or does his head get big and he gets a little bit of a ego? And that's what lets the team down.
I think now that Geno's been humbled, I don't think that we have to worry about that because Geno truly did get humbled in his career. He literally started up here, crashed to the bitter bottom, and then found his way back up. I don't think he's gonna get overconfident.
Hopefully. So we'll see.
Because
This is the, like you said, this is the game. We'll
yeah,
see.
not to
Well, I
mention
just think that
they drafted a quarterback too. They drafted a
yeah.
real late in the draft, but they drafted a quarterback too. So
And I just think that this year is going to be the ultimate test because now people are just going to write out the Seahawks because of Geno Smith.
yep,
We're going to take them seriously.
Right.
they're like,
So
oh
this is
shit,
gonna be the
and
ultimate
look,
test for 'em.
in the NFC, there's no excuse why the Seahawks shouldn't be a playoff team. I'm gonna leave it at that. 100%. They should be a playoff team, even if they don't win the division. They should be a playoff team.
Okay, we'll see. Right now, I got them 4-1.
Got you. Well, you probably about to be 5-1 because they got the Arizona Cardinals on deck in Week 7, and I don't think Kyler's gonna be back yet. So, ass whooping on deck. I like this Week 8 game. I actually like their schedule. I've noticed that they're playing the AFC North, so they got the Cleveland Browns in Week 8, right before Halloween. And
That's another test.
I'm gonna give the nod to the Browns in that game because because exactly what happened last year with Seattle is my thought process. What's gonna happen with Cleveland because we slept on Geno, like notably so, but we slept on Deshaun Watson and we should not have because the numbers reflect even on a bad Houston team, he wasn't because of Deshaun.
Right.
And we've just forgotten how great of a quarterback Deshaun Watson truly is. And I really hope that we get to see what we used to see from Deshaun this year, because if that's the case, the Browns have an argument to win their division and win a lot.
We're gonna when we get to that and the AFC North, we talk about them.
That's gonna be a conversation to be had. They follow that up, and more power to them. This is not a good 3-week stretch for them. They got the Browns, and now they followed it up with the Baltimore Ravens.
Ooh. Oh yeah. See, this gonna get dicey for them now.
Yeah, 100%. I'm giving the nod. I got to give the nod to Baltimore because I just if Lamar don't come out the gate on a mission this year, I don't know.
Because I think by then they'll be a full stride.
They better be, and hopefully, fingers crossed that Odell's healthy.
Yeah, they'll be in full stride by then.
And hopefully J.K. Dobbins is healthy. Like I just hope that this team, and because their defense was decimated with injury last year. So if that defense can just stay 85% healthy, that Baltimore team will be somebody we talking about halfway through the season.
Yeah, that stretch is going to be crazy.
Yeah, Week 10 they've got the Washington Commanders.
That's always a toughie for them. That'll be
a good game for them, just because by that time, with all the questions surrounding Washington, we'll see what kind of team Washington is. By Week 10, we'll have a good idea of most of the teams, and Washington is one of those teams we'll have a good idea of by Week 10.
Yeah, I'll give them the dub on that. I can't remember what I did on that one. On the other side, if I gave it to Washington or not. But I'm very biased when it comes to Washington. My mind is always like in my mind they go 17-0. I know they're not.
It's hard not to fanboy out sometimes. Week 11 they've got the Rams. Go ahead and pull the brooms out. They're gonna sweep that.
Yeah, that's gonna be another dub for them.
Week 12, shit gets real. Thursday night football. San Francisco 49ers on deck.
Ooh, it's gonna be another gut check game for them. It's gonna be another gut check.
Playing the Niners is going to determine how their season goes because they normally have a good season or a solid season, but they shit the bed against the Niners. If they can beat the Niners on a consistent basis, and they're probably going to end up seeing them in the playoffs, then this is going to determine their outcome.
The crazy thing is, like, go ahead.
Oh no, I was just saying, it's late enough that we either gonna know what Trey Lance is about, or Purdy will be back. So
Purdy should be back way before Week 12.
I'm saying when I say back, I mean either Trey Lance is balling, or Purdy came in, took the job back, and he's doing Purdy things. So
I'm gonna give the nod to San Francisco because their kryptonite is no longer there. Because Russell Wilson owns the Niners. Go look at the record. Russell Wilson has only lost 3 times. Three times for the Niners. And that's hard because Russell Wilson beat some damn good Niners teams back in the day.
Yeah.
So the kryptonite of the Niners is no longer there. So I'm giving the nod to the Niners mostly because that defense. I think that defense will give Geno some problems. I got to look at the splits from last year. I don't remember how the games went from a stats perspective. So I'm gonna revisit those games offline just because I'm gonna go rewatch those games because those are usually good games anyway. NFC West games are usually good games.
Yeah.
Week 13, they have got the Dallas Pink Skirts.
Oh, I think we did that already.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give them the W on that.
And then now this is a rough stretch because they come back in week 14 and they've got San Francisco again.
Do they get swept by San Fran? That's the question you got to ask.
I'm going to say no.
I think this year goes different than last year. I think they cap off maybe one in the
I think they'll split. I think they'll lose the week 12 game and they'll win the week 14 game. The problem is I think the week 14 game will have actual playoff repercussions. Possibly division repercussions, but I'm gonna say
probably division. I would say definitely say probably more than likely it's gonna have these two will be fighting for number one in the NFC West.
They're gonna finish 1 and 2. Like I don't have any faith in the other two teams whatsoever. Week 15, they've got the Philadelphia Bulldogs.
Oh well, we know what that's going to be.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and get that nod to the Philadelphia Bulldogs. Week 16, they've got the Tennessee Derrick Henrys.
Oh, that's a dub.
And apparently Malik Willis is making strides in camp as well. That was something I was intrigued about when I read that. I believe Lulu sent that to us, and I was like,
yeah, I believe it. I believe it when I see it.
Yeah, I just said it was interesting. I didn't say nothing else. I just said it was interesting. That's all. Week 17, this right here will be a damn good game against the Pittsburgh Steelers. That could be one of them 17-14 type games easily.
I'm gonna give that to Mike Tomlin. I think by this because Mike Tomlin teams late in the years they start putting it together late in the second half of the season.
Yeah, and it's a New Year's Eve game, so yeah, there'll be one way to bring in the new year. Now finish out their schedule against the Arizona Toddlers.
Oh wow! Okay, so that's a dub.
So.
Okay, I got them going 11-6.
That ain't bad. That's not bad at all.
That's about what they did last year.
Yeah, it's about what they did last year.
It's about right. Give or take a game here or there.
Yeah, and because you know how the NFL is, what we say and what actually happens.
Because injuries and shit.
Well, then teams that have no business winning end up winning games.
Right.
So let's get on to these Denver Russell Paytons. Let's find out if they're going to find their stride this year, which I have all the hope in the world because I trust Sean Payton. Because the track record says that man is an offensive genius and an innovator, and he generates top 5 offenses without question.
Yeah, I think this year we see the Jerry Jeudy that everybody expected to see coming out of college.
Yeah.
I think we get a bounce back from Russell Wilson.
Don't sleep on the Tim Patrick coming back from injury.
Tim Patrick is on heat because they needed somebody to top up the defense last year, and they didn't have it.
Yeah, so it'll be good. Sorry in advance, but they open up their schedule against the Las Vegas Raiders, or what's left of the Raiders at this point.
Okay, pretty much I already told y'all this.
Pretty much,
we coming out. No, we're not. It's crazy. Don't talk about it like that. We're gonna come out week 1. They're gonna take this L real quick. They're not gonna come out hot yet. They still gotta cook a little bit.
Oh, you saying Denver gonna take the L?
Denver definitely taking this L week 1.
Nah, fam. Nah. I'm gonna go ahead and give Denver that nod. We lost somebody. Maybe that plane took off.
He dropped out and got his GED.
Yeah. So, but no, I got to get a nod to Denver. I think Denver smokes them. I actually just previewing ahead. I got the Broncos doing something kind of cray here on this schedule. Another
game break real quick. I know this is a football show, but Kyrie Irving just re-signed with the Mavericks on a $126 million extension.
Great. We like that. He need to stay somewhere and actually build a home for once.
Yeah.
Week 2.
Back to football.
Your Washington Commanders on deck.
Oh, so we starting off with Denver is looking ass off the top with both my two teams. So yep, that's two devil hockey sticks for them right out the gate, and everybody's mad at Russell Wilson.
So Moolah said he backstage, but do you have producing control? Because I don't. I'm pretty sure Moo has producing control. Okay, well, let
yourself in. I can't do it. Oh no, I think Goat has to do it. Goat might have to do it.
Let's see.
Okay.
All right.
So they started off with both of my two teams, and those are just two biased picks. They could easily go 2-0 and 1-1 in those situations, but Melvin is playing with his heart right now, not with his brain. So
I'm with you. So week 3, the Miami track team is on deck.
And I predict. I said they was going to win this game because of a lot of different things. Like I said, Tua is not going to be who we think he is, and I think Denver's defense is really going to pick. Like that defense is. They gotta do better than what they did last year. I mean, even though they did good, they had a couple miscues on games where they actually got Russell Wilson to play well, but they kind of let it up. So
yeah, it was either that or the defense was giving up uncharacteristic plays that they shouldn't have, because that defense should easily be I must say top 7 defense for sure.
Why is all the basketball stuff Chris Middleton back with the Milwaukee Bucks?
That's cute. I guess I'll catch up on all the basketball news after the show. But give me the nod. I'm gonna take the Dolphins in this game because I think at least for the Miami Dolphins, there's more continuity in place because they've had that team in place now for a year. Even so, and you're gonna see the addition of Jalen Ramsey and all this other stuff. So, but I'm gonna give the nod to Miami in that one. So that means I've got them out the gate going 2-1.
I got them 1-2. So we're totally opposite.
It's okay because you're probably about to have them. You're about to probably have them 2-2 after this. So we got the Chicago Bears in week 4.
Definitely. Yep.
Yeah, they should smoke the Bears. This is where it gets fun. I am looking forward to this game. I am personally going to volunteer to break the game film down of this particular game. It is the Broncos versus the New York Jets. I want all the smoke in this game. I want to break the shit out of this game because this is week 5. The Jets should not be ready yet, and I think the Broncos will take it.
I think the Broncos win that. I think we even when we picked it again on the Jets side, we picked the Broncos.
I'm sure you're going to love this next game. Their schedule is ugly. Week 5, 6, 7, 8, and 10. So they follow that up with the Chiefs Thursday night.
With the Chiefs, right?
Yeah.
Yep. I think
And I already call. I think they'll split. And the weird thing about it is the Chiefs haven't lost a division game. I think it's either on the road or at home since Patrick Mahomes has taken over. It's one of those weird stats. One of those two. I don't remember. That's fucking crazy to me.
Right. I'm gonna give Mahomes and them the early win on this one.
Yeah, 100%. I will. And then in week 7, they go with the former Aaron Rodgers team and the Green Bay Packers. Will Jordan Love still be the quarterback by this time, or will he be benched for somebody we don't even know yet?
I believe like I said, I think Jordan Love is going to actually do pretty good this year. They're not going to beat the Broncos, but the team will be.
Yeah, I think Jordan Love will be fine. He's on my big board for Dynasty. There's a good chance I may draft him if he falls late to me, very late, not early, late, as just somebody to have on the roster because he is young. He's very young. So even if he doesn't stay with the Packers, he may end up elsewhere and be.
He's going to go somewhere else. Yeah.
Week 8, back to Kansas City. They have got the Chiefs. This time we are in Denver. This time.
Oh, this is a dub. This one will be the dub.
Yeah.
At least in my eyes. This one
and the Chiefs are good for this. The Chiefs are good for like that early season loss game because even when they lost to the Cincinnati early in the season, like they're good for these types of losses. So it wouldn't be shocking if the Chiefs lose. Bye week in week 9, good time to reset. Find out where you are record wise. I do think they'll be above 500. 100%.
Yeah. Yep. So right now they are for me.
They come now. Now this is going to be fun. They come out the bye week Monday Night Football, Buffalo Bills.
Oh, they're gonna come out. This is where Sean Payton he tightened his screws and he let everybody know we coming in the second half of the season.
Oh yeah, because Josh Allen gonna throw 3 red zone picks in this game.
Yep.
I'm on the anti Josh Allen train. That's just me.
I've been on it since he got into the league.
Week 11, they've got the Minnesota Cousins.
Minnesota Cousins. No, this is the downfall of Kirk Cousins. So no, I'm gonna give the Broncos that dub.
This looks like a Sunday night football game. Game's at 6:20. Yeah, this looks like a Sunday night football game. So it's a primetime game. So that means Kirk Cousins ain't gonna show up.
So Kirk Cousins is gonna throw 4 interceptions in the game.
Sorry, Kirk. Week 12. I like this game. I'm gonna circle this game. They got the Cleveland Browns on deck.
See, Cleveland gonna be hot stepping by then.
This is gonna be good because this is gonna be a tale of 2 teams. Because these are 2 teams that did not perform to where they should have last season. By week 12 of this upcoming season, these 2 teams should be rolling. This game right here arguably should have AFC playoff implications by week 12.
Definitely.
for overall
100%.
seeding. For whether even if it's like Cleveland towards the top of the division or fighting for a wild card spot, and the same with the Broncos.
Well,
Like this should be
I
real
got both of them. I got both of them winning their respective divisions. So this
Fair
why
enough.
this game should be. It should be exactly that.
Yeah. What should be a I don't know what to call this game yet. I'm gonna call it a Broncos win, but it's one of them weird games. But it's against the Houston Texans. Those are hard games to pick because the Texans are one of those teams that will just sneak up and just beat you out of nowhere, and it makes no sense. Even though they only won like 2 games last year, the 2 games they won, you're like, what? And they gave the Eagles a run for their fucking money, and I'm not gonna forget.
They made some good additions.
They did, and I like the addition of CJ Stroud. I'm a fan of. I know the whole Ohio State quarterback thing, but
yeah, that's what I said. That's why I'll hold off just to see. By then, we should know how he's playing.
We 100% should.
Yeah.
Week 14. This is strictly for Moolage here. They've got the Los Angeles Chargers.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Hell.
Never mind, Chris.
So that game is at SoFi.
At SoFi.
As long as they fired their coach by this time,
I think they'll still be. I think the Chargers will still be spiraling at this point.
Well, y'all know how I feel. Chargers is always going to Chargers. So.
You're right, and this is the perfect week for the Chargers to do Charger things and lose this game. They've already decided. The NFL has already decided on this so far that the Week 15 game against the Detroit Lions is TBD.
Sit down.
So they are already anticipating that this could be a damn good game that they want to flex. That should tell you something that we don't know yet. That is the earliest game on any schedule we've gone over thus far that has a TBD is Week 15. I ain't seen that till now. So that Detroit game is currently in Detroit, but it is currently TBD.
That's because the Broncos are going to be rolling and the Lions are going to be spiraling.
That might be a primetime game, man. Might be a primetime game. Might be 2 really good teams playing against each other. Lions could be damn good by this time.
We go.
But I'm going to take the Broncos in that game. I love the Week 16 matchup because it's a literal chess match. Christmas Eve versus the New England Patriots.
Hell.
I'm not going. I told you I'm not going against Bill this year.
I'm fanboying out for this game, and I'm taking the Patriots over Sean Payton and company as much as that's hard to do. But I do think, despite our shortcomings on offense, defensively, I think we can slow that team down, and that's how I'm going to roll with that. But by that time, you should have a Javonte Williams that should be rolling by that time and a couple other things. So, we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. Week 17, you've got the Los Angeles Chargers back on deck. I do think they'll split with the Chargers. The Chargers will do Charger things in one of those games. And hell, by this time, this Week 17 game might be completely meaningless for one of these teams.
Yeah, I think the Broncos by this point should have the division wrapped up.
Yeah, because they ain't gonna need them, and because they ain't gonna need none of their starters for Week 18 because they play the Las Vegas Raiders again.
Yeah.
By that time, Josh McDaniels will be fired. He'll be back on the Patriots staff, and all will be good in the world.
The Broncos can't beat the Raiders, so they're going to lose. They're going to lose. Probably going to lose 3 games in a row.
So they open and end their season with the Raiders?
Yes.
Yes.
So the Raiders could play spoiler at some point.
And they're going to lose both games. That's what's going to happen.
The Raiders or the
Trust
Broncos?
me, I know this.
The Raiders or Broncos?
Broncos can't beat the Raiders.
Oh, okay.
It's a proven fact.
You wanna put a little green on that, or
Oh, definitely. When the season comes closer, how many make no money.
I'm with it because I'm calling for the split. I'm calling for the split. They're not losing both games. I'm calling for the split.
Yeah, I got them going 11-6. I got the Broncos 11-6.
Okay.
So I think does that win the division? Probably not. We'll see.
I've got them 12-5, and I still think the Chiefs will end up with probably 14 damn wins.
2 and 15.
Maybe 13. It's gonna be close. I won't be surprised if the division is won by a half a game type of situation.
Okay, we're gonna see.
So that breaks down the west side of our schedules, folks. So the question now becomes,
ironically, we had both of them going, at least I had them both going 11-6.
Yeah. So do you want to save your Raiders for last, or do you want to go with them next?
Let's go to next. Run them next.
We go next. So we
got the Raiders and who? You want to go with the Raiders, the Cardinals? I don't want to do Niners yet. I want to save the Niners. I want to do Niners and Chiefs together.
Yeah, Niners and Chiefs go together, so we'll go
Raiders and
Raiders,
Cowboys.
Rams.
Okay. Raiders
Yep.
and Raiders and Rams. All right, cool.
Sounds
R
good.
squared. I'm with it. I
All
would have
right, so
preferred them
Raiders,
with the
Rams.
Toddlers, but it's cool because I don't think the Cardinals are going to win more than 3 games. But
Yeah, that's what we'll say. The Chargers and the Chargers and the Toddlers will go together.
cool. I like it. So there you go. That is your
Yeah,
clips for next week. That's how
that
we do
is
things.
that's how we're gonna do it. Another dope ass show. Like I said, and next week also we're gonna we're gonna do the offense, the all inside the huddle offensive team. I got to figure out a way. I'll be on the boat when this happens, so I got to figure out how to make this work
That boy
next
Mel
week.
said, "I'm on a boat, motherfucker. I'm on a
I was
boat."
gonna play it too. That was the whole thing.
You should. That's like you
Um,
can't be on a boat and not play the song. They go hand in hand.
um, yeah. So another dope ass show from the Inside the Huddle crew. Mulich is on his way up out of here. He's at the airport right now.
As you can clearly see
Um,
if you're not paying attention.
yeah,
So, Moo, don't get in trouble. Don't be on the Mile High Club. All right, be good. Be a good noodle.
yeah. Please don't get arrested.
Stop.
So,
I'm
yeah,
gonna do
looking
that
forward to
crazy.
that.
Maybe.
Another,
We'll
yeah,
see.
another great football show. I enjoyed it as always. Mel with the heat, bringing the numbers in.
Yeah,
Good stuff as
yeah,
always.
And y'all know me
yeah.
live from sunny San Diego, California, man.
Yep. Shout out to the chat. I meant to get homie's name from TikTok because he was commenting on our Cowboys video, and he said
Oh
something
yeah,
that was very interesting. That this is what we're about. This is why I started the slogan: "Debate us, don't hate us." Because he said he loved the back and forth because it didn't get disrespectful. That's not what we do over here.
no, we
We respect everyone's opinion. Just stand on your opinion. Just
that's
debate
it.
us.
Just look,
Just stand on your opinion.
facts over feelings, man. Take your feelings out the picture. If you're a Cowboys fan, don't come on here about your Cowboy shit. Come with the facts. Don't come
That's
on with
it.
your feelings, because I'm gonna give you 25 reasons why y'all trash. And it's mostly
And
And I
because of
want
y'all's
you
history
and
since
I
y'all
want
last
you
Super Bowl ring.
right. And I want you to give me 26 and why you think they not trash.
Call it what it
That's
is.
how it works. If
Yes,
I give you 25, you got to give me 26.
that's it.
That's
I
how
give
that
him
works.
28.
He said
And
28.
then exactly. And then we're gonna come back with some more shit.
I'm
But
talking about.
That's how we do it.
this is the difference between us. This is not about egos and stuff like that. We embrace the debate, man. We
Mhm.
embrace it.
As you can see, my little
So
title there, it says CEO of FYF. That stands for fuck yo feelings. Because that's how I
yes,
feel about it.
fuck 'em.
Even if
You
they
know what I
celibate,
mean?
fuck them. So Wayne said.
So that's what we do around here, man. So shout out to everybody who comes through on the. Remember, we do have a new TikTok, Inside the Huddle podcast. Look for it. If you can't find it, hit one of us up. We'll direct you right to it.
Mm-hmm.
Follow us. Get in those comments, man. We're trying to grow that one. We're trying to grow the YouTube. Like I said, we want to get to 1,000. The goal is to get before the first regular season kickoff. Can you get us to 1,000? Let's
I
do that.
believe in you. I believe in each and every
And
last one of
I
you.
got some things I'm working on that I'm gonna talk to the fellas about real quick about how we can help you guys out, get you guys more interactive with us. Moving forward, hopefully I can get it all ironed out. We can talk about it a little next week. But it's been another great show here inside the huddle. We will see you next week. Hopefully I can come through next Friday and I don't got bad service on this damn boat. But yeah, thank you guys for coming through. Go for doing what you do behind the scenes. Bullets, you be safe. GQ, I know you're gonna do dad things.
Yep.
Um, yeah,
Happy 4th of July to everybody. Don't be a
Happy
Jason
4th of
Pierre
July
Paul.
weekend,
Don't blow your
everybody.
fingers
Everybody be
off, please,
safe.
and thank you.
yeah. Come back with all your digits intact.
Yes,
All right,
that.
No Jason
we
Pierre
out of
Pauls,
here.
please.